Hello, I'm Sondra Baras, and we're here this week to talk about one of the best Torah portions, I have to tell you, in the Bible. One of my favorites, at the very least, it's Lech Lecha, which begins with Genesis 12. And here, of course, we meet Abraham, and we actually start the story of the Jewish people. We have Abraham coming into the land of Israel and all that happens after that, and God's blessings, and etc. And we're going to cover some of that today, but it is a very, very special Torah portion. But I want to start with asking a very fundamental question. Why is it that the Torah portion begins here with Genesis 12? And I would ask a different question as well, that the division of the Bible into chapters is actually not a Jewish tradition. The Jewish tradition had a different kind of division. We had the division into verses, but the actual division into chapters is a Christian tradition, which we have then adopted. But both the Christian division into chapters and the Jewish division into Torah portions begins this new Torah portion and the new chapter right here, where it says, "Now the Eternal said to Abram, go out of your land, from your kindred, from your father's home, into the land that I will show you." Well, clearly, when we read this verse in the synagogue, we're very excited. It's like, okay, here it's beginning. This is God speaking to Abraham, and he leaves his home, and he's going to go forward to the land of Canaan, and here it all begins. Now, when you're sitting in the synagogue and you're reading this Torah portion and you say, here it all begins, that's because you have a little bit of amnesia, because you forgot what was in the last Torah portion. So let's go back to the end of Genesis 11, which is at the tail end of the Torah portion of Noah. Now, of course, when you do the Torah portion of Noah, you talk about Noah. So people don't usually pay attention to those last verses in the end of Noah, which actually starts talking about Abraham. It actually begins in the beginning of chapter 11 begins with the descendants of Shem, who, as you will remember, is one of the sons of Noah. And it goes through the whole generations of these people. Then it gets to Terah, the generation of Terah, and we learn this is in chapter 11, verse 22, 23. This is when we learn about Nahor, about how Terah is born. Terah is born in verse 24. Okay? Terah is the father of Abraham, and in verse 27, we have this very nice, seemingly introductory verse. Now these are the progeny of Terah.